Yo, hustlers, welcome back to another episode of HustlePedia podcast. Today we've got not one, but two amazing guests that we are very excited for.
Yeah, we got some very underrated singers from the city. Welcome Hazzy and Majin to the HustlePedia.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. I appreciate it. So today we'll basically base the show off about their singing story, how they became artists, you know, the mistakes that they made, their experiences, their stories. So if you're an artist or anybody you're looking to start singing, you definitely want to tune in today. So I'll let Logan take over.
So guys, the first question we got here is we all want to know how you guys met and what pushed you guys to start making music.
So what's crazy about that story is we actually went to high school together for 3 years. Yeah, and never talked once.
No way, never.
Not at all.
Didn't even know
Really?
who it was
So
or
you never
anything
spoke
like
till
that.
senior year?
We didn't speak
No,
after graduation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
After graduation, damn.
'Cause I was dropping music and Hazzy kind of like,
I found his music on people's stories. I was like, who's this guy? So I looked through it. I'm like, damn, this guy's sick. And then I realized, like, I've seen him around the school. I just haven't talked to him before. And yeah, I was kind of like just shook about it. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, you're dope, blah, blah, blah. And hold up.
And then,
And then-
after you hit him up, did
Yeah.
you guys like connect really fast? Or how did
Yeah,
that
it
work?
was
yeah,
crazy.
Like,
So,
it was
like-
like after the first studio session, like it was just
We
You know what I
clicked
mean?
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
It was just straight chemistry.
You
right
guys
away.
just knew instantly, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
crazy part is before that, like, I always wanted to get into music, but I just didn't know where to start. So knowing someone in the city that was doing music,
It's very beneficial for you, hey?
yeah, very beneficial. And yeah, I showed him some clips of me singing, and he
I was
was,
shook.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you were impressed, hey?
I was like,
Yeah, so a couple weeks later, we link up at his studio and made it for our first track, and just
What was that called?
Next
life.
Life.
Yeah.
that was dope.
How did that one do?
It's pretty good actually. Right now I think it's at about 5k streams just
Not
on
like-
Spotify.
As soon as I heard him, like, I was like, this kid's gonna blow. Like, it's not even a question. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, of course, when you know, you know.
So the first song was both of you guys?
it was
on the
both
same
of us,
track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did, when you guys were making in the studio for the first time, was there many like takes, or was it really was it smooth?
I think he was pretty natural with it. Like, as soon as he kind of stepped up to the mic, there was like a little bit, like he was holding the mic.
Yeah.
that was like the only little hiccup. With me, I like to do a lot of takes, not because like I can't do it in one take, but I get really nitpicky with like everything,
You're a perfectionist,
with
huh?
my vocals and everything. So I'll, like, if you look at like say a project file of mine, you'll find just so many little chops and like so many like little, this has been placed here, like that's been placed there.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely sick. So you mentioned you were making music during high school, right? Before you met him?
I was dropping music on SoundCloud. I was a rapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a rapper.
Yeah,
And
now
it
you're a
wasn't.
singer,
It
huh?
was never like, oh, I'm making music because I want to make music. It was just like, my homeboy's got a studio, so I'm gonna pull up to the studio and just make a track. But then after I started getting like good feedback on it, I really started taking it seriously and like kind of finding my voice and my sound, and so I'm here today.
Oh, that's dope.
So where did the like inspiration come from for both of you? Like where did you say that you want to do music, you want to start doing music? Like where did that all come from?
For me, I think it started like around the age of 8, I would say. I had a lot of older cousins who were really into hip hop, rap, and all that stuff. So I was like introduced to that very early, and I always found myself like just following the track, singing with the track, listening to a lot of Chris Brown and a lot of stuff like that. And then I just realized that I was pretty good at singing, so I wanted to take it further.
I kind of just grew up on music in general. Like, I love music so much. You know, like, I think I've just, like, always been, like, I've not always been good at singing, but I've always been singing. You know what I mean? Like, you'll always catch me, like, singing a track back. And then, obviously, with time and practice, you get better at what you do.
So you mentioned that you first started rapping.
Yeah.
Did Hazzy actually influence you to start singing more, or where did that come from? What made you make the switch?
I just realized that I could sing. Like, it was just, like, super weird because one day I was rapping and then one day I was singing. Like, it wasn't like a gradual transition. It was just like one song I was rapping and then the next song I was singing. And then from that point onwards, I just kept on singing.
So basically, like, you know, the music industry, especially like if you just take the city, it's so crowded and stuff. So how did you guys kind of try to differentiate yourself? Like where did that, you know, like you see like a lot of people trying to be rappers and singers these days. So, you know, how did you guys kind of come with the idea to differentiate yourselves from everybody else to get out and, you know, make your name something?
Do you want to answer this?
We started off on
All right,
like,
cool.
feet
I think just like subject matter and creativity. Like I like to do a lot of weird things in my songs.
Like
You know,
what?
like, you know, like backgrounds being chopped up and screwed and playing it on like the offbeat. Or I like to do experimental music, right? I want to like mix mainstream with experimental. Like one of my biggest inspirations is probably Travis Scott or like Kanye. You know, like those dudes who like in their music, it's just insanely creative. Like they got all sorts of things going on in the background. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
That's one of my main goals, and especially with the music I'm working on now, it's like even the instrumentals, because I got a producer. He's insane, hands down best producer in the city.
Facts.
If you want to shout him out, go for it.
Yeah, the host music on Instagram. He's a dope guy. He's insane, and like even when it comes down to like the instrumental portion of the music, what we're doing is we're trying to use instruments that have never been used before. You know, we're trying to make something insanely fresh and new, like something where like if you want to hear this, the only place you can go to is me, because I'm the only one doing it, type thing. You know what I mean?
So what kind of unique instruments are you using?
We use a lot of synths,
Okay.
and what we're doing is gonna sound super weird, but what we're doing is we're basing it off of retro futurism, which is like
Elaborate on that.
cyberpunkish, like old school, spacey stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like retro, but
mix
it's
of both.
futuristic.
That's dope, man. That's
So you're trying to keep like things authentic and kind of trying to come from the inside instead of, you know, trying to follow everybody else's
Exactly.
path. So which is
Just
what
using
makes
his
it
own
different.
sound.
Yeah,
Finding
that's
your
what
own
that's
sound.
that's what it's at. You know?
Like I'm really trying to just carve out a unique like sound for myself, because
Mm-hmm.
I do get a lot of comparisons to The Weeknd, and he does too. But it's like I want to make it so like you can say I sound kind of like The Weeknd, but you can't put my song on a Weeknd album. You know
it
what I
won't
mean?
work. Yeah, if you put it on his beat or
Exactly.
something.
It's totally different.
Authenticity beats competition.
Exactly.
100%. So like, you know, just another question, which like you say your favorite artist was like Kanye or
Travis.
You know what? Like that's a really I got a super complicated answer, so I'm gonna let Hazzy take that
Yeah.
one.
Talk about favorite.
yeah,
artists.
who's your favorite artist then?
I have a lot, honestly. Some I can name, probably
Yeah, top 3.
top 3. No order, I'd say Chris Brown, The Weeknd, and Akon.
Akon.
Yeah.
Are there any particular albums like Heartbreak on a Full Moon or anything like that?
Chris Brown's older stuff, like his newer stuff is okay, but I was more a fan of like his older stuff. Yeah, like the
Remember
X
when we were
album.
younger, we used to love Chris Brown.
Yeah, just
We used to like Chris Brown all day.
everything, watching music videos 24/7, just trying to copy everything he did. But yeah.
Top 3 for me: Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, 100%, and number 3, I want to say Bootsy Collins.
Bootsy Collins.
I don't know who that is.
I think he was like the bass guitarist for James Brown.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow. So he wasn't a singer.
He was a singer. He did start
he did?
singing. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think, but I'm not too sure. But I love his vibe. Like I really like old music.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a pretty old school guy.
I love old music, but not old. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't really vibe with like old rap music. But
More of a singer, huh?
singing or like even like old school rock music. 100% my vibe.
Like some Red Hot Chili Peppers or
Nah, like I really like psychedelic stuff. So like Pink Floyd is like a big one for me. I love Pink Floyd, yeah. Or like Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
So would you guys say that your favorite artist would definitely influence your guys' music, how it is today, huh?
That's the thing, like I don't even think I have a favorite artist. Yeah, I will listen to everything. You could show me a song and I will sit down and I will listen to it. I'm open to everything
Yeah.
and anything. So like, but like definitely like those certain few, like The Weeknd or like Kanye or like Travis, like their creativity inspires me.
Yeah.
So because you guys are so open-minded when it comes to the music industry, do you feel like that has had any effect on the way you guys think about creating music and how you guys push it out?
Yeah, 100%. Like it's opened up our minds. feel like we can get a lot more creative that way, and just put a lot of different elements from every like genre into our songs, and just making it that different than the next person.
So when you started off, like, starting off from fresh, like a lot of people that, want to start rapping or singing or whatever it is, they have, like, they're hesitant because they think people are going to judge them. They're going to judge, like I like how you said, you're keeping things very creative, and, everybody has their opinions and judgments. So how would you deal with people judging your music, having opinions on it?
Bro, someone out there is going to like it and someone's going to hate it. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you don't even have to think about it. You can make the worst song in the world, but one person out there is gonna vibe with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you make music, like, you don't make music for everyone else. You make music for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like an outlet.
Yeah. So you get that fulfillment personally from it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's nothing I'd rather be doing than being in the studio.
So back in, because you were making music for a while, right? Both of you guys.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. So I want to know, in high school and even just after high school, when you guys were just coming up, how did you deal with all of the, let's say, haters or people that doubted you or didn't really think that it was serious like that?
Dude, there's still a big thing, people don't take you seriously, but as soon as you like kind of reach those like mini milestones, like I did my first show not too long ago.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that.
Like as soon as you kind of start hitting those like little milestones, like slowly and gradually people start looking at you a little bit different. Right. Like when I got my first 5,000 streams, when I got my first 10,000 streams, like each time people were like looking at it a little bit differently. You know what I mean?
So when you got that first 5,000, because I'm under the impression that you would set goals, kind of like mini goals, right? For streams,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
maybe this will get this amount.
Yeah.
I want to know if after that first 5,000, did you honestly feel like the next one would be 10, or were you just kind of going with the flow?
Yeah, no, I had no clue. Like, it was just keep your foot on that pedal and just keep going type thing. Like, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Like, when you're making music, like, you shouldn't care about how many streams I'm going to get or, like, how many people are going to listen.
So if it's good, it'll find its way out there eventually. So it's like, you don't have to worry about it. Like,
So
just keep releasing.
being as close as you guys are, I want to know if you guys have worked on anything besides that first song together, and if you're doing anything right now, because I'm definitely interested.
We got so many tracks.
Yeah, a lot of tracks. None of them are released, but probably like over 15 tracks together.
Okay. Big vault.
Yeah, it's crazy. In terms of right now, I think we're both doing like our own thing. Just trying to figure out who we really are as artists. He's got his whole project going on. I'm still working on just trying to carve out my own sound and just have it like be super unique. So as of right now, like we link all the time, but our musics are separate for the
And like that's the thing, like you don't like that. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're making music, like it doesn't even matter if the song is if the song's gonna come out or if it's not gonna come out. Like we just like making music. So we'll hop in the studio, we'll make a track, and we'll have no idea if it's gonna come out or if it's not gonna come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you guys write? You guys write your own music, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what goes on with writing the music and those roadblocks that artists have, and they can't really think. You know, the music will stop, and then the process will come to a pause. I want to know how you guys get past that roadblock.
Can I cuss?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. No, you feel like shit. Like you feel like shit.
Yeah,
That's the only way to put it. Like you
straight
feel
depression, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you feel like shit.
So do you let it? Would you let it sit for a few days, or do you just continuously grind on it?
It's like a mix of both. Sometimes when I don't know what to do, I'll just listen to more music and try to find new inspirations and just try to figure out from there. Even like sitting, like leaving it for a couple days, a day or two, and then coming back to it, your mind's fresh and you're ready to go, and it just all comes back.
And like a lot of times, like you will make really good music and it's gonna sound like shit to you, and you're not gonna know. You know what I mean? Like you're still gonna feel like you're in like a
writer's block.
You're still gonna feel like you're in that kind of like writer's block area, but you're not.
But like I have so many tracks, probably like over 30, where I've completed half of it and then I just scrap it. I'm like,
and then you listen back like a week or 2 weeks later and it sounds really good to you and you're like, why didn't I finish this? But you can't finish it because it's like you're past that.
Yeah.
And would you say it's important to have other like-minded people around you to inspire
100%,
you
100%.
to get past those roadblocks?
100%.
if you have people around you who aren't as motivated, it's just not gonna work out at all. And that's with anything, not just music.
Has there ever been a situation where one of you guys has been in a roadblock, can't really think through it, and you come to each other
Yeah,
to get in?
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll help each other write, figure it out, and like see what direction we're trying to go in, and then just figure out the lyrics from there.
Do you think it changed completely? Like, you know, you guys were in, like, we guys know each other when you guys were making your music, but since you guys have gone together, do you think things have changed a lot and gotten better for worse? Like, well, how's that work? Because
I think it changed. Like, it's. I don't even think that. I think we've both just like grown up there in like less than 6 months. We've just like completely changed
Matured.
directions and just completely gone like a better but different route. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, that's.
So when you guys were releasing your first track, was there any like doubt in your mind, or did you guys have any fear about how it was gonna do, or like what would end up, or like the people around you would start making fun of you? Like, did you guys have any fear of that, or just releasing the track overall?
With me, I kind of had that, but not really. Like the second I got into the studio, I felt at home, and once we made that first song, like I had no doubt about how good the music was. So I wasn't really worried about what other people think, because I'm making the music for myself first of all.
Yeah.
And if people don't like it, then just on to the next one.
No, I like that.
I didn't even really know if anyone was gonna hear it. So like I wasn't scared. I wasn't thinking about it.
Did you guys promote your music at all at first, or you guys kind of kept it quiet and like
At first, no, not at all.
Not at
for
all.
me.
Not
Not during like the SoundCloud days.
like
no.
you wouldn't post it on Instagram or anything?
No.
No.
did you have your friends supporting you, or did they not even know? Like, were you just keeping it so low key that? How was it that?
Like mans are gassing me. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Like it is. Like people were very supportive, but nobody was ever looking at it like, oh, this kid's gonna go, and he's gonna be a singer
Yeah.
or anything. You know, it's just like he made a track. It's pretty cool. So
Yeah, I get what you.
Do you guys have like any routine when you first hop in the studio to start the track?
We usually start out with a couple freestyles, and just like
That's how you get in the zone.
yeah, we just let loose. It's not always a freestyle. Like sometimes we already know what we want to do. That's usually like when we're at home. But studio etiquette is freestyle before every session.
I'm a pretty superstitious guy too. So like let's say I am going through a situation where like I can't think of anything, and it's been like a little while. Like you'll catch me like lighting up candles and like doing like at the studio. Just like I don't know. I'm a very superstitious guy. Like me and my producer, for example, we will get a cup of coffee before every studio session, like regardless of like the weather, whatever's happening, how late it is. It's like he pulls up, we hop in a whip, we go get a cup of coffee, we come back, we vibe out to some music, and we start our session. Like it is a routine.
All right, so do you guys have any projects you're currently working on?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm working on, which is like kind of the things that I kind of brought up before, like with just the whole like freshness and like authenticity. We're like implementing all of that into this next project, and it's actually a story. It's a story that I've written out with my producer, and we plan to have a whole bunch of content coming out with it. Like we want to do comic books or comic strips for each song. So there's 13 tracks, and there's gonna be like 13 comic pages, you know, just based off of each track. And
That's sick.
Yeah,
Hella
so-
unique. Sick.
super exciting, yeah. And like the whole purpose of it is to make something that's never been heard before. Like we're not taking any references, we're not taking any like, obviously we're inspired by certain things, but when we're actually physically making the music, we're not like looking at another song and being like, oh, let's kind of do something like this. You know what I mean? Like it's all fully original. Yeah, it's dope.
So can you talk a little bit about your project?
Yeah, so it's called Mania. I don't really like, I'm not really like opposed to like spoiling anything or anything, so like I can just kind of like explain what's happening.
Yeah, and like the inspiration behind it. What made you want to start this project?
It was honestly just like I just snapped into it kind of thing. Like I met my producer, and we started making music, and it just ended up being so good. And I was like, let's just make a whole project. And we like subconsciously, like accidentally, like just made this whole unique sound that we're just basing everything off of now. You know what I mean? Like from the first track.
So you mentioned the comic strip parts. I think that's a sick idea. Have you like you seen Tory Lanez and stuff trying to convert their music into NFTs and make all that like he sold out what like $1 million in like a few minutes. Like so have you ever thought about like going into that area and kind of expanding in that? Any of you guys like with your music?
Oh yeah, I was actually talking to him about it a couple of days ago with the NFTs. I soon like when I drop a proper project, I want to turn it into an NFT and then have like a link with that NFT that like gives people exclusive access to the music and stuff like that, just behind the scenes, creating the art. And yeah, because NFT is literally the future. Like
Yeah, so you're giving me like utility behind your music as well. At the
Yeah,
same time.
exactly.
That's a sick
100%.
idea.
I think that's a dope idea.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
jumping into
pretty
that.
unique.
And
So
these two are really big in NFTs. So if you
Yeah. They get you started. They can get you. They can get.
Yeah.
There's some good ideas. You can like actually have a creative thinking behind your music. Like you're saying, exclusive rights and stuff. I think that's sick. Like make that once you grab like a following and you kind of convert your music into something, or you give them like like there's a podcast that did that. It's a little bit off topic, but the podcast that kind of did that was like you buy their NFT and you get like a time on the NFT. So the more time you get, and then based off that time, like let's just say I got a 60-minute NFT, I get like 60 minutes worth of time on their podcast, and like I think something that we should actually incorporate down the road as well. But like having ideas like that, like because they're pretty big podcasts, so like like if you buy an NFT for 10 minutes, and like other people also want that 10, so they can come and put their projects out, right? So and their value goes up, and they make money. Plus people are getting utility. So if you can think of something creative, I think that's definitely gonna sell.
No, that's dope. I think
100%.
it's definitely something to look into. Okay, so if you guys are comfortable with this, I kind of have a request. I think for all of us, do you guys mind like giving us a little sneak peek of you guys singing like what's on the album or something like that?
Let me hear some vocals.
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
There you go.
You start off on with the album.
Let's hear it.
My voice may sound like my heart is already beating faster.
Yeah,
Just
bro.
you're good. You're good.
You're good.
So yeah, people are super shocked when I start singing. Like
Catch them off guard.
Why is that?
my voice just goes way higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby, why you rushing me? I'm tryna get you higher. She said, boy, don't you forgive me after superstardom. Shorty just a throwaway. I'm fucking up my sorrows. Codeine in my body got me walking on this water.
That was clear.
I was actually jamming to that. Oh god. Oh god.
Bro, I feel like I was
to
listening
that.
to some nice ass song right now.
That's dope as fuck. bro.
That's the kind of music you use in the Sugar Sugar Boom Boom.
Yes, sir.
I see why people would get caught off guard though. Like you
Oh,
have
yeah,
you
absolutely.
definitely have a unique voice.
Like
Yeah,
my
that's-
voice is very deep, and then I start singing. I don't know what happens. I actually don't even know how it functions. Like I don't know how that works. Like, I have no clue. And like when I'm rapping, my voice is very deep.
It's like three different.
We got a
people.
couple.
It's like-
I got a double vision. Got them on fakes. Like it's like very like it's down
Very
there,
different.
right? And then when I'm singing, it just something I don't know what happens. Like it just works out. Yeah, it just works out though, so it's cool. Yeah, and yeah, I just did my first show recently too, which was dope because I had no clue that people would actually mess with me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a lot of issues with just like. He knows
Yeah,
it. He
he
knows it.
doubts
I got a
himself,
lot of self-esteem issues that like
just crazy because you're so talented. It's just like,
and like
he's-
I remember
he's his biggest hater. Like it's like to a crazy extent.
like I remember like right before the show, like I'm sitting in the car with him, just like for a solid an hour and a half, man, just going through the track, just constantly like, is this good? Does this sound good? Is this okay? Like,
Doesn't want to believe it.
Not really, you guys.
and then
you
I
guys-
got on stage and I started singing. People started cheering for me. There was an encore like on my first show.
Really?
Yeah, fire, man.
Wow.
Like it was dope. It was dope.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Where was the show?
This show was at this venue downtown called 9910.
Right.
Yeah, it was a dope venue too. Like it was just all kinds of artwork and like the aesthetic of it all was fire. So it was an insane place to do my first show, and it was like an insane experience all
Something you
around.
remember for the rest of your life.
100%.
Are
And
you
I
guys-
actually used like I sampled audio from that show, into one of my tracks for the album,
Damn.
which is that's fire.
That's a dope idea.
Yeah,
Imagine chance.
yeah.
Are you guys thinking of like, or are you guys already planning like a second concert or anything? Or
So I actually got booked again for January, and hopefully I'm gonna be.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
I'm
big.
hopefully I'm gonna be performing all year.
You gonna bring out Hazzy?
100%.
No, we all-
He's already he's already being talked about. Like he's already in the
Yeah.
conversation.
I have a few questions for you, Hazzy. I want to know what kind of projects you're working on personally.
So for like a bit here, I kind of lost direction with where I wanted to go with the music. So I've been really focusing on just different stuff, trying to perfect my craft. And so for now, I'm just making singles, but there's really no project or album. Yeah, that's planned for right now.
No.
Yep.
And if you were to give yourself advice, like you were talking to yourself when you first started making music, I want to know what kind of things you would tell yourself now.
First off, I would tell myself is don't rush yourself. I used to rush myself like crazy and set timelines for stuff, and I felt that made me lose like the passion for not the passion. Like I don't know how to put it together. What would you say? Like
The focus of where
yeah,
you
like
wanted.
the focus of the music. So I was setting timelines, and then I'd rush it, and it wouldn't be the best that I could make. So now I've really been taking my time, and there's really no rush. Like there's no rush.
Yeah, definitely with music, I feel like you have to take your time.
Yeah, take
like,
your time. Yeah,
especially you guys, like you want to perfect it. You know, you want to take this seriously.
Another big thing that I'd say, which would be something that I'd tell myself, is do whatever you can possible to be different. Like I think a lot of artists are afraid to be different. They want to follow trends and they want to do stuff that's sick right now.
Like so they can easily have a come up.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and that happened with me, kind of. Like I found myself doing a lot of what The Weeknd was doing, and a lot of people like I get compliments. Oh, you sound like The Weeknd, but at the same time, it's like I want to be my own person.
Exactly.
like my main goal is for people to hear my music, and I want them to be like, yo, this is kind of weird, but it's sick. You know what I mean? Like, like it's okay to be weird. Like it's cool to be different. Like you gotta stand out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's different, but I mess with it. Yeah,
Right. Exactly.
100%.
So basically, like, you know, like we all here like love underground rappers, and we start off, you know, we used to find like underground music, but we're not really mainstream kind of guys, and that's just how it's been always. But you know, something I've noticed, sorry, my voice. Something I've noticed with like all these artists, you know, like every underground rapper I followed, as soon as they get mainstream, they start making like bad songs. You know, they forget their own style, their own aura. Like they completely forget about that. Do you think that's the reason? Like, there's a reason behind that, or what happens in the like as an artist? Like, what do you think?
So you're talking about why I think those artists like
Yeah,
change
like
up?
like you're
Like,
saying
we
about
can go
authenticity,
to,
right? Like how do like is that necessary to like, you know, like to actually get into big games, and you know you have to change your style with labels and stuff? Is that really like necessary? Like what's your take on that?
Yeah, to an extent. I feel like a lot of these people, when they sign to a label, the labels kind of control you to like an extent. So they want you making these mainstream songs and music that you really like. There's a lot of artists who have come out. Tory Lanez, for example, they're making him do stuff that he really didn't want to do, but the second he left his label, he was just his own self and making what he wanted to do.
And now he's a lot more successful.
Exactly.
being
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
Do you guys plan to stay independent?
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
I don't even like I can't even. That's like surreal to me. Just even having an opportunity to like choose between being signed to a label
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
like whatever. Like if I get signed to a label, then that's blessed. If I don't, then it's blessed too.
I feel like if
Yeah.
labels are coming for you and trying to sign you, that means you're already on the right track. So it's like you don't really need them, but they do help you in a way. So
And
It-
once
you
you
can't-
gain leverage, enough leverage. then
Exactly, once you gain
it's
leverage.
smarter to sign to a label because it'll be.
they wouldn't take full advantage of you. You have a say in it. Exactly.
I want to be like a pop star though. Like that's my end goal. Is to do like radio music and make a lot of money off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like everything artists do like currently like while they're underground is like an audition for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure, man.
So do you guys have any goals for 2021 or anything that you guys have planned?
2022.
2022.
Sorry.
I just want to be more consistent with my music. Like this year, I think I dropped like 4 tracks all year, and it's not a bad thing. But now I feel like the more that I found my sound and my style, I want to be more consistent throughout 2022.
Definitely.
I just want to perform all year, man. Like I got the first taste of it and it was insane.
Is it like when you perform, like it just feels like, you know, you're just, how does it feel like?
Is it
Yeah,
euphoric?
bro.
Euphoric, yeah.
I bet that was insane.
And like especially because they like I never thought that on my first show like they'd have a chant for me. Like they're screaming my name, and then at the end of the song, they're screaming one more. Like everyone in the crowd, you know what I mean? Like I
That
never
must have felt. That must have felt insane.
No one else had that reaction. Just
like I never thought that. So like that was an insane feeling to me. So like, all year I just want to perform. I want to roll out this album. I don't want to think about the future. Like,
Yeah,
I
you know,
just want to make the music.
that just shows you what you're doing is good. Like,
Yeah.
just you're in the right direction. You're going
Now
your
you're
way.
starting to see the positive feedback.
Yeah.
For real.
Exactly.
And it's more like you're doing it for yourself, you know, you're not chasing anything, you're just doing, you guys are both making music for yourself, and I think that's really sick how that kind of, you know, you're not expecting like something crazy out of it. Like, of course you'd love to see stuff, but you're not focused on that, you're focused on just grinding and making
Just trusting
music
the
and
process.
being in the
process.
moment. Yeah.
And earlier you mentioned they had self-doubt. Do you think that show helped you realize that, okay, maybe I'm bigger than I think I am?
Yeah.
And I'm better than I think I am?
I'm not gonna lie, and Hazzy knows this. I absolutely despised my performance at that first show.
Really?
Like,
It wasn't bad though. Like
well, yeah. Well, like here's the thing. Like I know it wasn't bad, but like I know I could do better. I got a lot of issues with myself. Like it's just like it's hard to kind of like break out of that. But I feel like I am slowly breaking out of it, especially working on this project. Like hearing how nicely all the songs are turning out, it's definitely like boosting my confidence a little bit.
I think I can relate to that one because I feel like I myself, like my own places, I never feel like I have done enough no matter what it is. You know, people are always like, oh, you know, you're good. My family, whatever, telling me like, you know, like you got time. But to me, I feel like the end vision is so far away. And I just feel like I'm so far from reaching that right now that whatever I do right now, sure, I'm like progressing, but I never want to be satisfied till I actually get where I need to get. Because
Exactly.
it's because if I get satisfied now and I start getting things get to me that I've done this, I've done that, you know, it's just going to get to more like I'm just going to start like, you know, it's just like I have self-doubt too. And I feel like it makes me want to just go harder because I see people like at my age or whatever do so much better than then. I just tell myself that there's no excuse why I can't, and just makes me keep pushing myself. And I feel like if you use it in a good way to fuel yourself.
Exactly. Like you just always keep your foot on the pedal.
Because the end vision is so far away right now, right? Because we've all got different visions and where we want to end up. And I feel like I'm still so far away from it. I definitely believe that I can reach it, but I feel like it's still so far away. And I feel like that's just how it kind of works to keep going. So, yeah.
100%.
You guys got any other questions for them?
I think it's...
I think that was
I
good.
think we're getting to a wrap. I do want to say though, I absolutely love how passionate you guys are about your music, because at the end of the day, that's what our podcast is all about. We want to hear about really passionate people and their kind of mindset. And I want to extend my thanks to both of you guys for coming today.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
coming.
Be
Yeah.
inspired from your guys' story.
Yeah.
Pleasure to
And I
have you
think
guys.
definitely like the passion, like you could see it, you know, everybody that's listening, they could feel the passion, they could see the passion in your guys, like just the way you guys present it yourself. And I feel like that's just, and the biggest thing you focus on was authenticity. And I'm a big fan of authenticity beats competition. And you
100%.
guys said everything that aligns with it. So I feel like that's,
And then the same goes for you guys.
Yeah.
Like just seeing all this and like seeing how you guys are working, like it's insane. You don't find a lot of
Appreciate
people doing
that.
that kind of
Appreciate that.
for sure, man. Appreciate that.
So yeah, if you guys, the viewers, have got to this point, make sure to smash the like button and the sub button. And we'll definitely be having an episode with these guys soon, maybe in the studio. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But after their projects drop, all of their links will be in the description
Yes, sir.
to their Spotify, Apple Music, whatnot. Make sure to give them a follow.
Check 'em
because
out.
These guys they're definitely, they got something.
They're talented.
For sure. And
They
yeah,
got some
like,
going
thank
on.
you guys so much.
yeah, make sure you guys check out our audio podcast. We have audio versions on Spotify, and the link should be down there, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So make sure you check that out. For the next episode, if you're an athlete, you definitely want to tune in. We've got a next nice D1 athlete coming in next, couple offers, you know, football guy, and we're going to go into depth with athletes there. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But until then,
Thank you so much for watching.
yeah, thank you so much for you guys watching. We really appreciate the support and everybody who came make it to the here.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in. You could be anywhere on YouTube, but to choose to be here watching us, and we appreciate that. For now, HustlePedia out.